Hey, Jerry, where are you right now? You need to pick up the phone or at least send me a message telling me where you are right now. I mean, don't you remember that we were supposed to introduce our families to each other today? I thought I told you that this was really important and that you can't be late to this.
Oh, wait. You mean today was the day that we were supposed to bring both our families to the same place so that they could all meet each other for the first time since you and I are going to be getting married now that you and I are engaged?
That's right, we even talked about all of this yesterday, didn't we? I told you that I had arranged for it to happen today around lunch. Don't you understand how important this is for us as a couple? This is when our parents are supposed to meet for the first time now that you and I are engaged to be married. I mean, both of our sets of parents are here already. We're at the French restaurant where I made the reservations that I told you about yesterday, too.
Oh, I see. Well, shoot, I really am so sorry about this, Lisa. But I'm afraid I just won't be able to make it there today to meet everyone. So anyways, really sorry about that, but if you could tell everyone that we'll do this later, that would be great. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not going to be able to make it to the reservations that I made for our parents to be able to meet for the first time? You really think this was something so easy to put together that we can just do it another time or something like that?
Look, I really don't want to have to be dealing with all of this right now, okay? I mean, I literally just woke up right now. I guess I drank more than I really thought last night, and I ended up sleeping in quite a bit. So anyways, I'm really hungover and don't need this from you right now.
Hold on a second. You were drinking last night and you drank so much that you slept in this late and are now hungover? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's right. My boss invited some people from the office out to grab a couple of drinks. So that is who I was going out to drink with last night when I ended up drinking too much. I mean, you can understand the situation that I was in when that happened, right? You can't just tell your boss that you don't want to go out drink with him, right? Anyways, my boss is also a really strong drinker, so I guess he must have been pouring me drinks, or maybe I was just trying to keep up. I really don't remember it all at this point. But anyways, all of that is to say that this is why I'm only waking up now, around noon today, hungover from drinking yesterday.
You have got to be kidding me. I really just can't believe that you would do something like this, Jerry. I mean, how could you do this to me on the day when our families were supposed to meet for the first time since you and I got engaged to be married to each other?
Well, I really don't know what else you want me to say. My head is pounding, my body is sore, and I'm just not going to be able to make it down there. And so anyways, like I said earlier in a message that you read, if you just scroll up a little bit, could you please tell everyone that we will just have to do this thing at another time when I'm feeling better and not so hungover from drinking the night before?
You really think that I can just tell that to both our parents and that they'll be fine with it? You do know that my parents had to fly across the country just to be here for this, right? And now you're telling me to tell them that they won't be able to meet my fiance because he got too drunk last night and can't make it?
I mean, I don't know what else you would tell them. After all, it is the truth, isn't it? Besides, do you really think that your parents would want to meet me in the state that I'm in right now?
Well, the least you could do is come to the restaurant where we're all waiting for you and apologize to everyone for wasting their time today. So hurry up, wash the smell of booze off yourself, and get over here right now, Jerry.
Lisa, come on. You can't really be serious, right? Do you really want me to do something like that?
I mean, I really don't care if you come over here smelling like all the booze you drank. The least you could do is explain to our parents why you weren't able to be here at the time we all agreed to meet. You need to tell them yourself because I am not going to cover for you when you behave like this.
Oh, come on. You know I can't do that. That would be so embarrassing. Besides, if I showed up there late and smelling like booze and apologizing for wasting everyone's time, that would make a terrible impression. You really think that I'm just going to willingly walk into a trap like that? No way.
So then you're really just not going to show up at all? You're just going to make us all wait here?
And if I am, what are you going to do about it, huh? It's not like you're just going to not marry me. But you really did have me going, asking me to go all the way over there just to apologize to our parents? Although, to get more serious, you should really know better if you're going to marry me. I can't have a wife who acts the way that you're acting today.
Excuse me? Did you really just send that message? Who do you think you are, and what do you think gives you the right to say that?
The right? What are you talking about? I have all the power here. We both know that canceling our engagement will put you in more trouble than it would me. I mean, you're already in your mid-30s, aren't you? Do you really think that anyone but me would marry you at this point? You really ought to consider yourself lucky that a young man like me wants anything to do with you at all in the first place. But I also know that you don't have any better options than me.
Do you really believe that? Please tell me that is not how you think of our relationship. That is just too much.
There you go again, thinking that you can whine and complain to me when I'm already doing you a favor by marrying you. Like I said, you need to wake up and realize where you stand with all of this. And that includes right now. So just drop all this business about missing today. If I have to hear about this again, I really will call off our engagement and nobody is ever going to want to marry you again. Got it?
Please, Jerry, don't you think that you're taking this just a little too far right now?
Oh, trust me. It's not that I don't see why I'm in the wrong for being too drunk to attend our parents' first time meeting each other. But I'm telling you that I'm just in no shape to go, and that is that. So anyways, like I have said twice now in messages that you can see if you, again, scroll up in this conversation that we have been having right now, I will have to ask you to tell our parents that we will have to do this at another time. Surely they can understand that humans forget stuff from time to time and that being a little late or missing a date here and there isn't the end of the world.
I can tell them that if you really want me to, but I don't think it's going to go the way that you think it will.
Yeah, right. I know what I'm talking about. Please don't try and question my decision making. I mean, do you really think that I'll go on to regret missing one little lunch reservation? Anyways, I'm still pretty beat, so I think I'm going to catch up on my beauty sleep right now. So anyways, tell our parents that I said hi and that I'm sorry I won't be able to make it. I have been furious about what happened ever since last night. This really is just absolutely ridiculous. I can't accept it. I refuse to.
I know, Dad, and I really am so sorry about yesterday. I know that you and Mom came all the way from Washington just to be here. And now the lunch reservations, the meetup, the talking about the wedding, it's all going to have to be put off now.
And it's all thanks to that man of yours. Just what in the world was he thinking? I mean, did he seriously think that him being hungover was an acceptable excuse for missing something like this? Did he think that that wouldn't make him look awful in our eyes? I think anyone can love whoever they want to love within reason, but I really just can't see what you see in this man if this is the way that he behaves, Lisa. Did you know that Jerry hasn't even sent us a message or called us to apologize for his last-minute cancellation at lunch yesterday?
Well, I'm sure he's just feeling really bad and can't get to his phone right now to send anything. I guess he ended up going out with his boss, who is a bit of a drinker, so I think that he was having a really long night the other day.
Hey, I get that. I've been there. But there's a time to mess around and drink, and get so hungover that you sleep half the day away. There were other times when your parents and future in-laws get together to meet for the first time. That any responsible adult would realize is really important. I didn't know if his parents raised him differently, but he can't just do whatever he wants and thinks that he can get away with it or that nobody will care. He's acting like a complete ass. And you know, I've heard the way that he talks to you too. He makes fun of you for being older all the time and teases you about not being able to find anyone else who will marry you. But what kind of way is that for a man to talk to his future wife? It's just horrible. It's completely disrespectful.
I know, Dad. I just didn't think that that's how we would act around me after he and I got engaged to each other.
But that's not it. He probably didn't even realize that we weren't just all about to go home or something. We sat through lunch waiting for him, ate our food, ordered drinks, and he still didn't have the nerve to show up or offer to pay you back with a meal.
Right, well, originally when we made the plan, we said that we were going to be splitting the bill for all the food. But I guess since he never showed up, that's how I ended up having to pay for all of the food and drinks that we ordered while waiting for him to show up.
This really is just unacceptable. And why are you defending him? Why aren't you more upset with the fact that your fiance has been treating you like this? I really don't know how I would react if someone who I was supposed to marry was treating me with that much disrespect. Lisa, I'm very sorry to say this, but I just don't think I can approve of you marrying a guy like this. He just isn't good for you. I know it.
It's okay, Dad. I understand what you mean. In fact, I want you to know that I agree with you. He isn't good enough for me.
What do you mean? You agree with me? You don't want to marry Jerry anymore? Is that what you're saying?
I mean that I am really grateful for you being so angry for me over this, Dad. It really means a lot that you care so much about my future and who I'm with. I know that I've kept you and Mom waiting for me to get married for a long time now. I've been so concentrated on school and work that I've hardly had time to date. And when I finally got my first boyfriend ever, Jerry, I guess I just got so wrapped up in the excitement that I really wasn't thinking in the long term at all. But he's right. An immature boy like that really shouldn't be marrying an educated career woman such as myself. Especially not if he's going to disrespect not only me, but my parents as well as his own by pulling that kind of stunt that he did yesterday.
So then, what does that mean? Are you going to call off your engagement to him or something like that?
That's right. Or at least, I think that's what I want to do. But I also know that you and Mom have been waiting a long time for me to find someone who I want to settle down with. I just don't want to let either of you down by breaking off my engagement.
Lisa, please. You don't need to worry about your mom or I and how you choose to deal with this. What your mom and I care about is seeing you happy and healthy. That's what always should come first before anything else.
Dad, do you really mean that? I don't know what to say. That's just what I needed to hear right now.
Like you said, Jerry doesn't deserve someone as smart or accomplished as you, and we all can see that. There were plenty of other, better men out there for you. You are the apple of your mom and I's eye. And we want to see you out there living the life that you want to live. Not for us, but for yourself. So don't worry about your engagement to this jerkwad Jerry. The right person will come. You just have to give it time.
Thank you so much, Dad. You really are amazing. And I'm so lucky to have parents like you and Mom. By the way, you are still going to be in town tomorrow, right? Because I was thinking that I could take the day off of work and you, Mom, and I could go and play tourist around the city. I just really want to apologize for the mess yesterday and also make sure I see more of you and Mom before you go back home.
That would be amazing. It's been so long since the three of us have gotten to go out and do something like a family. I think your mom would really love to have family day as well.
Well, then it's decided. I can go and meet you by the market near where you guys are staying. I'll pick you up first thing tomorrow, so just be ready around there and I'll think of places to take you both.
Hey, Lisa, are you there? You and I have to talk about something right now. Get back to me once you see these messages, okay? I was just wondering when we were going to have our parents meet each other since I had to cancel the last time that we were supposed to. I have some days this month that should be able to work for that to happen if this month is good for you.
What are you talking about? Why are you sending this to me, Jerry?
Well, I thought that we said that we were going to reschedule our parents' meeting, right? I was thinking that we could make another reservation at a nice restaurant for them, right? Of course, you can handle all the planning and stuff like that. But I would really like it if you could choose a steakhouse or something like that this time instead of a lame French place like you did for the last one.
Why would I do that if you're just going to cancel at the very last minute like you did last time? Why would I waste the energy and effort to plan something like that? Besides, I'm pretty sure that at this point our parents wouldn't care if they met at a buffet at this point.
Whoa, wait a second. Don't tell me that you're still all mad about the last time that we tried to get our families together, but I had to cancel at the very last minute. Come on, I told you that I wasn't able to go. I was in no state to go out to a fancy lunch or anything like that. Besides, if you're this mad all the time, you're just going to give yourself even more wrinkles, Granny. You really do need to learn to let things go. I would have thought that you would have learned that lesson at this point in your life.
Excuse me? Just what is that supposed to mean, huh? Did you really just send that message to me? I can't believe you would say those things to me.
I promise that if we do schedule another meetup that I won't drink the night before. Or at the very least, I promise not to be hungover for the meeting the next day. So anyways, could you please just hurry up and make some reservations somewhere for this month? I mean, if you don't do this, then I guess I should take it as a sign that you really don't want to marry me, and then we might just have to cancel this whole thing.
There you go again, trying to threaten me by saying that you'll cancel our engagement.
Oh, come on. Threat is such a strong word. I'm just letting you know of the alternatives that I have if you don't do what I say is all. I mean, you're the one who still hasn't woken up to where you stand in all of this. You don't really have any room to be complaining about anything. You're just an old lady who was lucky to have me marrying her, and you should be thankful that I've even stuck around this long. So, I really think you should rethink this attitude of yours that you have right now. I thought I already told you that if I heard about that dinner again, that I'd seriously have to reconsider this wedding. So if you're really okay breaking this off and me leaving you, then I guess you should just keep this up because that's where we're headed.
Oh, that's fine with me. We can call off the engagement. I don't really care anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean? You don't know what you're saying. You really want to cancel our engagement?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't really think that I want to marry you anymore. I guess there's just not the spark that there once was. In fact, come to think of it, I really don't even know why it was that I wanted to marry you in the first place. But anyways, now that I don't really feel anything for you anymore, I think we should just break up.
Whoa, wait. Hold on for just one single second here. I mean, where's this coming from all of a sudden? I thought you loved me and wanted to marry me. Don't you realize how hard it's going to be to find another boyfriend after me? And that's setting aside the question of you ever finding someone else who would want to marry you.
You know, you seem awfully hung up on my age. You seem to really think that after you turn 30, your life is just all downhill and there's no hope. That's why you didn't even care that you were canceling last minute on both of our families and your fiance. You thought that I had no other choice but to deal with your actions. But if you think that treating me that way makes me want to be married to you at all, then you are dead wrong, Jerry.
So then you're actually truthfully saying that you want to break things off with me? I don't believe this. I mean, I just don't even know what to say right now. Does the fact that you're so old and will never be able to find another person who wants to marry you not upset you? You're engaged to someone younger than you, and you're just going to walk away from that?
That's right, I am walking away from you, and there is nothing you can do about it. I wanted to marry you because I thought that we would be able to treat each other with respect. But if you're going to act like you're doing me some big favor by marrying me, then I just don't want anything to do with you.
Oh man, you have seriously got to be kidding me right now. I can't believe that I'm being talked to this way by some old grandma right now. If this is really how you want to do this thing, then let's break up. But just know that since you're breaking off the engagement, I'm going to sue you for this. Are you ready to have to pay for acting like you're better than the young man who was ready to marry an old granny like you?
Excuse me? And just why in the world do you think that I would have to pay you anything at all, huh?
Well, it is like I just said in the last message that I sent to you. Since you are the one breaking off the engagement, you're the one liable to be sued by me. And since you're older than me, I'm sure that you make way more money than I do right now. I'm thinking of asking around $50,000.
Are you kidding me right now? You think that I am going to pay you that much money for breaking off our engagement?
Well, I'm a young man and you've been wasting my youth. Do you think that was going to be cheap? Not only that, but you were having me waste my youth on an over-the-hill granny like yourself. So you need to take responsibility for your actions and reimburse me for all the years of my life. That's why you should be lucky that I'm only asking for $50,000. But I won't take a cent less.
You really are crazy if you think that this is how our breakup is going to happen. If anything, I'll be the one suing you for that $50,000 you keep talking about. After all, I know that you've been cheating on me, and that's the real reason why I don't want to marry you anymore.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You really think that I've been having an affair behind your back? Are you serious right now?
Oh, please, don't try to lie to me or cover up your tracks now, Jerry. I've seen the truth with my own eyes. I saw you walking around town with your arm around some other woman's shoulders. In fact, the day I saw you was the day that our families were supposed to meet. You really are just the worst. Do you know that?
Wait, hold on just a second there. What do you mean you saw me? Where did you see me with this other woman?
Sorry, not that day our parents were supposed to meet, but the next day. I offered to take my parents out for a day on the town to make up for you not showing up. I drove past the hotel they were staying in and saw you and this other woman walk right in the building as if you were guests. I know it was you, and you had your arm around some young-looking thing with a big grin over your face. It was so obvious what was happening.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You really did have some nerve choosing to stay in the same hotel that my parents were. But thankfully, that meant that it was that much easier to get the photo evidence that I needed. Not only that, but after you went into the hotel and after I dropped off my parents, I went back home and went through your laptop.
Wait, what? Why on earth did you do that? What is the matter with you?
Well, I found your vacation plans for you and your little girlfriend. I also know that wasn't the first night you had stayed in that hotel. You didn't even go out drinking with your boss. It was just that you and this other woman stayed up late doing who knows what. You've been seeing her behind my back for a long, long time now, haven't you, Jerry?
Wait, no, Lisa, you got this all wrong, I swear. This really isn't what it looks like.
And just why would I listen to you after you've done nothing but put me down and make me feel like a burden? You were always using my age against me and making me feel like I had no other options in life than you. I should have known that I was being foolish, but then you had the nerve to cheat on me? Well, that was the last straw for me. I finally woke up to how you were treating me and knew that you and I were done. So anyways, keep an eye out for a letter from my lawyer. That should have all the information about the lawsuit that I'm about to serve you with.
Lisa, what is the meaning of this? Are you really going to try and sue me for $60,000? This is outrageous. What happened to the $50,000?
Well, this is the number that I came to after talking to my lawyer and my parents. In fact, my dad said that I should be suing you for 10 times the amount. He was so upset with you.
10 times that? That's just crazy talk. Come on, you can't seriously expect to get this much money from me. The most I could even pay you was something like $10,000 at the absolute maximum.
And just why do you think that I would settle for such a little sum, huh?
Oh, come on. You're already into your 30s, and you really didn't think that you were going to be cheated on? I'm sorry, but if you didn't see that coming, then that's on you. You're the one who ruined this whole thing by being so old and useless, so I really don't see why I should have to pay you at all. Like I said, you are the one that should have to pay for me calling off for our engagement, for a stupid reason like me sleeping around.
Jerry, you really do know how to run your mouth, do you know that? But the law is quite clear, and I am well within my rights to be suing you for that amount.
Oh, come on. There's no way that the law says that some old hag can sue a younger fiancé for that much money just for sleeping around. You do realize that this is going to blow up in your face, don't you?
Are you sure about that? If you really want to negotiate how much your affair should cost you, that is going to have to be between you and the judge, I think.
Lisa, come on, you can't do this to me. Don't you realize that I still have my whole life ahead of me? I'm not some old person like you who wasted their whole life studying and working. I was too busy enjoying my youth to have the kind of funds saved up to pay the amount that you're going to be asking for. You have to see how ridiculous all this is, right?
You seem to be so obsessed with your own youth that you really don't think you can do any wrong. Do you now realize that being youthful also comes with the chances to make all kinds of mistakes through your inexperience? But just because you're young doesn't mean that you won't receive any punishments for the mistakes that you make. Besides, you're not a child, you're an adult, and you should have known better. But don't worry, thankfully for you, you're still young. And that means that you'll have plenty of time to waste your life working to pay off all of the debt that you're going to go into to pay for these lawsuits.
Wait, no, Lisa, please. You can't do this to me. I don't have to settle down and find a real job yet. I was going to be young forever by marrying you. You were supposed to be the adult with the job and the money, and I was going to use it all to be young forever while you stayed at home like the grandma that you are. Don't you get that you ruined my life for doing this? Doesn't that upset you at all? You're just jealous because you just wasted your youth while I revel in mine. You can't do this to me.
In the end, my lawyer sent a letter explaining all of the details of my lawsuit against him for his affair while he and I were engaged. Jerry called me and begged and pleaded with me to stop this, but I told him that my old age must have made me quite stubborn because I had no intention of showing him any mercy. Jerry had to go deep into debt to afford all of the fees that he had to pay, not just to me, but to his lawyer as well. I also owned the house where Jerry and I were living, so he was forced to move out and find a place for himself to live in. Given all the debt he was in, he had no choice but to move into a tiny little apartment. He is still working the same job, but I heard he's also picked up some side gigs to work on the weekend just to make enough to get by. I would feel bad for putting Jerry in such a tough spot, but it's like I said to him, he has his whole life to be paying off his debts. As for me, I've put in my hard work, and I can't be wasting my life with foolish boys like him. Jerry may have his youth, but he's going to be spending it all paying for the mistake he made while cheating on me. Meanwhile, I've dedicated enough of my life to working and studying. I think I'm going to take the money I got from Jerry and go do things I've always wanted to try. After all, you only live once.
Hey, Kate, I heard the news. You're getting married, right? You know better than not to tell me, don't you? If you're a member of my class, then you have to report everything to me. Don't you remember this rule?
What do you mean by rule? How many years do you think have passed since we graduated from high school, Monica?
No matter how many years pass, the rule still applies. Come on, we're classmates for God's sake. Isn't it common sense that you should tell me that you're getting married?
No, it really isn't.
But I mean, I do understand why you were embarrassed to tell me that you were getting married to that skinny nerd. I still can't believe that the nerdiest couple in school is getting married.
What?
You know, I seriously thought that it was a joke when I first found out. I mean, what are the odds that all of the high school sweethearts you two survive? Now you're getting married. What a shocker. I mean, you two do in fact go well with each other, given the glasses and the braces.
Could you stop making fun of us for once? We're not children anymore, and I'm tired of your nonsense. You think that you're one of the pretty girls, right? Well, good for you, but no one cares. So I suggest that you stop acting entitled to make fun of others.
Is the nerd talking back to me? You know, you shouldn't get so full of yourself just because you're going to get married.
Since when was I ever full of myself?
Quit acting dumb. You know that you're acting full of yourself. You're looking down on me because I'm still single. Just because you got married before me doesn't mean that you're above me in any way. I'd rather be single than be a nerd married to a nerd. And I know for a fact that you two are poor.
What makes you think we're poor?
I could already tell before we even graduated from high school. You nerds with no social skills will never be able to create or land opportunities for yourselves. Your fate was decided before you were even born. Imagine being ugly and poor. Please do society a favor and don't make any kids, alright? Because you'll just make the world a more miserable place.
Don't you dare say anything about my future children. I make my own decisions, and you're in no place to say anything about them. You bullied me every single day while I was in high school, but I didn't let people like you drag me down and got to where I am all on my own. Just so you know, I work at the company that I'd always dreamt of working since I was a child, and Stuart was able to make his dream of becoming a doctor come true as well.
What? That useless nerd is a doctor now?
Yes, and that's because no matter what anyone else said, we always had each other through everything. And now we're finally getting married. There's no point in you bothering me anymore. I'm already exactly where I want to be.
But how? So you're getting married to a doctor? How is that fair? Why do you get to live the rest of your life relying on your high-income doctor husband?
I mean, I have no intention of relying on him completely since I work too. But it's true that he's making much more money than me. I never knew exactly how much a doctor makes, but let's just say that he makes a lot.
This isn't fair. I just got rejected by a doctor a while ago. How does it make sense that I get rejected and a nerd like you gets to marry a doctor? I won't allow that to happen.
What do you mean?
I'm telling you to cancel the marriage right now. I don't allow you two to marry. So I need you to break up with each other.
Are you crazy? What on earth makes you think that your selfish needs would be a reason for us to break up with each other? We're almost done preparing for the wedding, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Do you really think that you can just get married before me like this? And the nerd is now a high-income earning doctor. You know what? If you won't break up with him, then hand him over to me so I can marry him instead. I will not allow you to become anything more than what you really are, a nerdy lowlife.
Have you lost your mind?
You listen to what the popular girl says. This rule has been in place since high school, and it still applies. Make a choice. You can either break up with him or hand him over to me right now.
Hey, Kate, we need to talk.
Yeah, what's up?
I need you to break up with me. I found someone else that I feel a stronger connection with, and I think that I'll regret it for the rest of my life if I don't choose her.
What?
I know that we're about to get married, but as I said, if I lie to myself now, then I'll probably regret it forever. There's someone that I want to love and take care of for the rest of my life. I'm sorry, but my mind is already made up.
But what do you mean?
I probably wouldn't know what to say if I were in your shoes too, but I need you to understand. I really was looking forward to marrying you, and you're an amazing person. but I found someone that I feel something that I've never felt towards anyone else before.
We've been preparing for this wedding for months now. You told me that I was the love of your life when you proposed to me. We stayed beside each other through thick and thin since high school. Are you really saying that this person is worth disregarding all that for? I can't believe you.
I'm sorry. It really does break my heart, but the person that I'd always admired for years finally reached out to me, and I need to be honest with my heart. I've been dreaming of being with her for so long, and I can't let this chance get away.
Someone that you'd always admired?
Yeah, I'm sure you remember her. She used to be in the same class as us when we were in high school. Her name is Monica.
Monica?
Yeah, we found each other out of nowhere.
What do you mean?
Well, I was just shopping by myself and we just stumbled upon each other. I mean, she was the prettiest girl out of the whole grade. How could I not recognize her? But I never expected her to recognize me back since I was such a quiet nerd back then. She tapped on my shoulder and started talking to me.
What?
She suggested that we go get some coffee and do some catching up. Right as we were leaving, she asked me if I wanted to be her boyfriend. And I've never told you this before, but I'd always admired her since the first day of high school, so I ended up saying yes before even thinking.
Wait, you liked Monica since we were in high school? Why didn't you tell me before we started dating?
I mean, I obviously had no chance to date her, so why would I say that and embarrass myself? If I had told anyone, I'm sure a rumor would have been going around by the next day. It's just that the way she carries herself around with such confidence, it's something that I'd never be able to do. And you gotta understand how attractive that is through a nerd's eyes. I've always wanted to make a girl like that my girlfriend. The chance is finally here.
Always? You've thought in that way since we were dating each other too?
I mean, of course, I liked you too. I felt really safe around you, and like someone finally truly understood me without judging me for being a nerd. But at the same time, I often found myself doubting whether I liked you or I just liked your company.
Seriously?
Yeah, but then again, I'd always believed that only a nerdy girl would marry a nerdy guy like me, so I believed that you were the best option that I had. And that's the reason why I proposed to you. But all that fell apart when the popular girl whom I'd always wanted to date had finally noticed my worth. Now I'm just committed to making Monica the happiest girl in the world.
But just like that? I've loved you for so long. I still admire you every single day, just like the first time we met. You're still the first person that I think about when I wake up. Are you just going to betray me like this? We've supported each other for so long.
Thank you so much for everything, Kate. I wouldn't have made it to where I am without you. But I'm in love, and if you truly wish the best for me, then I want you to let me go. I wish the best for you.
Wow, I genuinely don't know what to say. This was the kind of person that you were? Fine, I'll break up with you, and the marriage is cancelled. Just don't ever show up in front of me again. I never want to see your face again.
Okay, I'm going to turn in the marriage certificate now. I hope you have a good life, Kate.
Hey, Kate, how are you? Because I'm feeling great. Why, you ask? Well, as you've heard from Stuart, I'm getting married. Sorry for taking your Prince Charming away from you.
Why would you do this to me? You can't just show up in front of a former classmate after a few years and ruin her life like that. How is that fair?
Look, I gave you a choice at the beginning. You get to choose whether you were going to break up with him or hand him over to me. Since you never broke up with him, I assumed that you chose to hand him over to me. You know, if anyone, you should blame yourself for your indecisiveness.
What kind of logic is that?
This is the same logic that applied ever since we were in high school. The nerdy, quiet kids listen to whatever the pretty, popular kids say. Have you forgotten? Grow up, for God's sakes.
Whatever. Well, our marriage was just ruined thanks to you. So I'll be suing you for whatever compensation I can get.
Do you think I care? My husband's now a doctor who earns hundreds of thousands a year. I mean, he was absolutely zero interest to me when we were in high school. But he really stepped up his game, didn't he? He was pretty well groomed and looked like he finally knew how to dress up. And he's a doctor on top of that. There couldn't be a man more worthy of being my husband. Are you seriously not giving me an apology for stealing my fiance? Why would I apologize to you? I took what was rightfully mine from you. If his heart belongs to me, then it's only natural that he chooses to marry me over you. I feel so bad for you. You started off as a nerd, and now you're still a nerd, just single. You lost against me and everything there is to life. I'll pay you whatever amount that you want, but don't ask me to apologize to you, idiot. Wow, I never knew that someone could look down on others so badly. You know, I never asked to be in the same class as you. I never asked to be a part of your popularity race. Yet, you have to involve everyone and look down on them, just so you can feel better about yourself. I'm tired of your games. Good for you. Those on top of the hierarchy have a natural right to rule over those below them, and the queen wanted your fiancé, so she got him. You know, I do kind of feel bad for you though. You were so close to becoming rich and winning the race, but then came me again. I'll be enjoying the rest of my life with my Dr. Stewart. What are you talking about? Stewart's not a doctor. What? Stewart's no longer a doctor. He's just some normal office worker that you could find anywhere. He makes less than even me. If you're trying to become rich, then marrying him probably isn't the smartest way. Wait, what do you mean he's not a doctor anymore? Marrying him wouldn't have led me to becoming rich anyway, so I have no regret in letting you take him from me. What? I really loved him, and that's why I wanted to marry him. But since he wasn't half the person I thought he was, I hope you have a good life with each other. Wait a minute. Answer my question. What do you mean that he's not a doctor anymore? You told me that he became a doctor. What's the point of marrying him if he isn't a doctor? I said that he became a doctor because he did. He was a doctor up until a little while ago, but he changed career paths. What? What does that mean? He quit the medical field and moved to another job. Because he's just starting off in that job, so he's barely making anything more than just a part-timer. I currently make twice the amount that he makes. What? Wait a minute. Why on earth would he quit being a doctor and start a job that barely pays him anything? I can't marry someone who barely gets paid more than a part-timer. Thinking back to it now, the only reason that he wanted to become a doctor was because he wanted a job that would be respected by others, and money was second priority. But his only drive was his complexity of being bullied by people like you in high school. So, he couldn't take the workload of a doctor. What? Yeah, getting into med school and getting his medical license only required him to study, which he was pretty good at. But actually being a doctor was a whole different story. And he needed to communicate with patients and work together with other nurses. It looked like he couldn't do that part very well, so he ended up quitting. So you're telling me that he quit his job as a doctor and moved to another occupation because he couldn't talk to other people? Well, I recommended him to change occupations. He started getting skinnier and skinnier by the day, and I couldn't bear to keep watching. I wasn't even sure if he would make it to the wedding healthy. And he just quit his job as a doctor and started another job with zero experience. And he barely gets paid anything on top of that, right? I mean, I get paid enough to take care for the two of us, so that aspect didn't seem like a problem to me. I just told him not to worry about the financial aspect. How much do you make anyway? It's not as much as a doctor, but I make a little more than $70,000 per year. 70,000? You? How are you managing to make so much? Because the real world isn't the same as high school. No one unreasonably decides that they're above you and disregards your efforts for everything. They value you for the value that you provide them. And I guess I'm relatively valuable to the company that I work for. Wait, So how much is Stuart making right now then? You said that he makes as much as a part-timer. Like, so 50,000, right?
Do you seriously think that a part-timer makes that much? I don't think that his annual salary even reaches $30,000 a year. So probably a bit over 20,000?
A bit over 20,000? He only makes that much.
Yeah, that's why I said I never intended to marry him for the money anyway. I never cared about his income or his social status. But regardless of everything that we've been through, I never want to marry someone who just throws their significant other like that. I feel nothing towards him anymore. So, do as you please with him.
But I don't want him either. I can't marry someone who only makes $20,000 a year. I'm calling the marriage off. You can have him back right away.
I don't want to take care of a piece of trash like him, so I won't be accepting your offer. By the way, it might be too late to call the wedding off. Stuart texted me a few hours ago that he was going to turn in the marriage certificate.
What?
Yeah, so you better hurry. I've heard that it's going to be a hassle to do something about a marriage certificate that it's been already turned in. Good luck.
I can't believe him. He turned in the certificate without me. The workers keep telling me that I can't do anything about it if the papers have already been signed. Damn it! Why did I have to sign the paper in advance?
Congratulations. I hope you and Stuart live happily ever after together.
Shut up! I can't believe this. I'm the most popular in the grade. How do I end up with some antisocial nerd who can't even make a decent amount of money? I'm supposed to marry a doctor who's gonna let me live like a princess. How do I possibly end up with an office worker? I will not allow someone like that to be my husband.
Well, it looks like the two of you are legally official now. Oh wait, I have a good idea. Would you like me to let everyone from our grade know that the two of you got married? Of course you would. It's part of the class rules. And you love your rules, don't you?
Don't you dare. I'll have nowhere to go if everyone finds out that I'm married to that nerd.
Do you think so? I feel like everyone's gonna congratulate you on your happy marriage.
Shut up! Now tell me what to do about this situation right now. Because Stuart is refusing to get divorced with me, no matter how many times I ask him. He just says that he doesn't want to, since we just got married. That nerd doesn't know his place anymore.
Come on, Monica. You don't have to call him that nerd. You should call him my husband.
I will not allow him to be my husband. Why don't you take him back from me then?
What do you mean?
I need a reason to get divorced from him. And you want the love of your life back, don't you? This is a win-win situation. I'll treat him like trash, and he'll want you back right away.
Why would I want him back?
What do you mean?
I wouldn't want an idiot who's dumb enough to throw away true love for some childish reason. You could try and call everyone from our high school class and ask them for help. I'm sure everyone would want to help the popular pretty girl.
As I said, I don't want to tell everyone about this. They're gonna find out that I married the nerd, and it will ruin my reputation.
Then I suggest that you accept reality and just stay married with him. You can't have everything.
Please. Oh, and make sure to prepare the compensation money that you're going to pay me. What?
I'll send you the bill by the end of this month. Make sure to make the payment on time, okay? Or else I might just accidentally slip up and tell the whole class about you stealing my fiance and marrying him.
Kate, I need you to answer me.
What do you want?
Monica's been acting crazy lately. She was super into me when she first asked me out, but ever since we got married, she's like a completely different person. She won't bother to have any conversation with me. And whenever something doesn't completely meet her expectations, she starts throwing crazy tantrums and abuses me physically and verbally.
Wow, that sounds like a lot to handle.
Obviously, only broke up with you because Monica said that she wanted to live happily ever after with me. Why does she keep screaming that she wants a divorce now?
I have no idea.
And that's not the only thing. She always uses up all my earnings. I tell her to stop, but all she says is that she'll never stop until I divorce her. I don't know what to do anymore.
So what you're saying is that there's an obvious imbalance in the power between you in the relationship?
Exactly. She won't even help out with the housework. Whenever I'm feeling down about work, she just scoffs at me and continues doing her thing. I can't take this anymore. I miss you.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to ask if we can work things out. If I were to get divorced from Monica, then would you be able to marry me by any chance? As soon as you promise that to me, I'll get a divorce done right away and we can get married.
Seriously? Why the hell would I get married to you? You showed exactly how shallow of a person you are when you decided to leave me for some high school diva.
What?
And although it's true that we've been dating since high school, I have no regrets whatsoever about this. And do you not remember me saying that I never want to see your face again? This is goodbye. Hope things work out for you.
Wait, please. I really do regret betraying you the way that I did. I finally realized that you really are my only true love.
If you really like me that much, then I'm sure you'll be able to understand how I feel.
But
If I don't leave you right now, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. You're stuck with who you're married to now, so try to make the most of it. I blocked Monica and Stuart right after ending that conversation. I've heard that Monica's been trying to desperately keep her secret from the rest of the class, but someone spotted her shopping alongside Stuart, and it seems like every single person in our grade knows about it. I heard that Monica absolutely lost it after this, and she reached out to her past friends to help her get out of the marriage, explaining that she got married by accident. But all everyone said was, "You two deserve each other," and no one offered to help. Hey Neil, I was wondering, could you please give me a little more to spend for this month? I really don't think this is enough to last the month.
what the hell do you mean? $500 is the amount that I always give you. Why is it suddenly not enough? Your job as the housewife is to figure out how to make it work.
I mean, I really did try, but prices have been going up a lot lately. Utility fees have also been up on the rise. I seriously doubt that $500 is going to be enough to account for everything.
Do you think you can just get more money from me? If $500 isn't enough, then that just means you aren't trying hard enough to make it work. If it isn't enough, then that's your fault. So pay the extra money from your own savings. You still have some left when you were single, don't you?
I really don't have that much left from back then. That's why I'm asking you for more like this.
Well, why the hell don't you have any savings left?
Because I've been using it to pay for whatever amount that you don't give me. You even told me to pay for your little sister's wedding with the monthly $500 that you give me. How am I supposed to even do that? So I had no choice but to use my own savings, and that was the last of what I had.
Wow. You really are useless, aren't you? How do you manage to use up so much money?
All I did was try to support our family without putting more on your shoulders. But I really can't keep that up anymore. So could you please make some adjustments on our monthly budget? Even $100 more per month would help a lot.
Are you stupid or something? That's not how our society works. Do you think a company will give you a raise if you just ask them for more money? No, you work hard, and the employer decides when the worker deserves a raise. The money that I hand you every month is the same thing as that. If you want money, then go find a job to make it yourself.
But...
You have one job, Becky. Your only job is to make our monthly spending fit inside the budget. You fail to accomplish that and still have the audacity to ask for more money from me? Look, the only reason that you have anything that belongs to you right now is because I supported you. Don't ever forget that, you useless idiot.
Useless idiot? Did you seriously just call me that?
Yes. What's wrong with stating the facts? If I hadn't let you marry me out of the kindness of my heart, then someone like you would have had to stay single for the rest of her life. You should be thankful that I'm even here with you at this very moment.
Hey Becky, did you see the pictures that I sent to you? Neil bought me the best present in the world for my birthday. It's a purse that costs more than everything you own combined. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, I saw the picture. That's very impressive, Lisa. Neil has never given me anything expensive as a present before. As a matter of fact, he's never given me a birthday present in general before. What? No way. Why wouldn't he give you any presents? Well, he stopped giving me anything as soon as we got married. According to him, it's a waste of money that we could be spending to support the two of us.
Wow, that is harsh. But then again, I guess Neil didn't have much of a choice on that topic. I mean, who would want to give any presents to you? I heard that you're useless at home.
What?
Yeah, Neil tells me all about the things you mess up all the time. I thought you'd start learning from your mistakes, but I guess you're still dragging my brother down. You can't even keep up your spending within the family budget, right?
Do you even know how much I get each month for everything? I only get $500 to pay for all the food and utilities.
500? Seriously? You're telling me that you think $500 isn't enough to pay for a month's worth of expenses? I mean, how could you not?
Well, it's different for the two of us. You live by yourself at the moment, don't you? How much do you spend each month to pay for your groceries and utilities?
I'd say about 1,500. I absolutely hate doing housework, so I just pay someone else to do it all for me.
Really?
Yeah, but I make someone else do all of the cleaning, cooking, and shopping for me, and it still only cost me about $1,500 a month. If you did it all by yourself, then I'd imagine that you could manage to keep the spending to a third of what I'd spend. I mean, I'm sure that I would be able to do all of that as a housewife if I was in your shoes.
It's not that simple, Lisa. As soon as an unexpected fee appears, the plan for the whole month suddenly crumbles.
You know what I hear? I hear excuses. I would never let out any excuses if I were you. I've only been talking to you a few times, and I'm already starting to get annoyed. I feel horrible for my brother for having to live under the same roof as you.
How could you say that to your sister-in-law?
Do not take it personally, but I'm going to use you as a good example of how not to carry out my marriage life. In case you haven't heard by now, me and my fiance have decided to host our wedding next month, so I'm officially becoming his wife. I'll make sure to take care of our monthly budget flawlessly, and my husband will give me presents every month.
I wish the best for you, honey. Maybe you'll find out how difficult it is to pay for everything with only $500 a month.
You know, I'm gonna be real with you. If you don't step up your game, Neil might decide that you're not worth his time. So if you don't want that to happen, then at least start trying to become a good wife.
Neil, I'm sorry for contacting you on such a short notice, but I don't think I'm going to make it to today's wedding. I've had a fever since this morning and it won't go away, even after I drank some medicine.
What the hell do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that you can't show up to my precious little sister's wedding? What makes you even slightly think that I would allow that to happen? Come to the wedding hall right now, or else.
I really want to. I do. But my fever just reached 100 degrees. I really don't think I'm going to make it through the whole thing conscious.
Do you think I care what your body temperature is? The only thing that I care about is whether you refuse to show up to my sister's wedding and ruin her impression. How do you think the guests are going to react when they see that there's an empty seat at the family's table? They'll think someone purposely refused to show, and that'll ruin the whole thing.
Could you please just set my seat aside then?
No, you're my wife and the bride's older sister-in-law. There's no chance that I'll ever allow you to be absent from this event.
But... Are you seriously telling me to attend a wedding with this kind of fever? I can barely stand up right now, and I'm barely grasping onto conscience as I'm texting you right now. There's no way I'll be able to survive a whole wedding.
Well, then you're not trying hard enough. You have the rest of your life to slack off at home as a housewife, so make yourself useful when it matters for once.
Seriously? Do you think I got sick on your sister's wedding day on purpose? It's not like I can control it.
Shut up. Just go get ready and be here at the wedding hall in an hour. I'll meet you at the entrance. And don't forget about my necktie.
Your necktie? What's wrong with your necktie?
You said that you wanted to stay lying down for as long as possible, so I came along. But I had to tie my own necktie, and I don't like how it turned out. So I need you to come and tie it over again like you always do.
Are you being serious right now? You can't even tie your own necktie?
Shut your mouth. I could if I wanted to. It's just that I've been making you do it for me for a long while, and thanks to that, I've been having trouble making a clean knot.
Can't you ask one of your parents or friends? I really don't think I can make it there today.
What? You want a grown man like me to go to my parents and ask them to tie a necktie for me? How on earth do you think that I will go out of my way to embarrass myself like that?
Then please just try to do it on your own. I'm sure there's tons of tutorials on YouTube about how to tie a necktie.
Do you think I haven't tried that already? I tried to do it myself while watching a tutorial video and it didn't work. Why else would I be asking you to do it for me? I can't attend my precious little sister's wedding with a necktie like this. Just hurry up and come here.
I told you already. I have 100-degree fever right now.
I've heard enough of your excuses. If your husband tells you to go somewhere, then you shut up and go there. It's not my problem whether you're sick or not. If you can't walk, then crawl. I swear, if you don't come here right now, I can and will divorce you.
You know what? Okay. I finally made up my mind. We're officially divorced, Neil. I cannot take being your wife anymore. I'll be resting for a little more, so excuse me. Once I'm feeling better, I'll go and get a divorce paper so we can sign it and turn it in.
Wait, what do you mean we're officially divorced?
Well, you just said that you can and will divorce me if I don't crawl over to your sister's wedding. So I chose to divorce you instead.
Why the hell would you make that choice? Are you out of your mind? You could just come over to the wedding. Whatever. Fools will be fools, I guess.
I'm confident that staying together with you is more foolish than any other choice. I can't allow myself to keep being harassed by you, and I don't want to be your caretaker for the rest of your life. I'm confident that I'll enjoy the rest of my life, not having to worry about babying you.
What do you mean?
Well then, that's that. So I hope you're able to figure out how to tie your own necktie. You're already a big boy, so you're gonna have to learn how to do it at some point anyway.
What kind of wife refuses to tie her husband's tie and doesn't show up for his sister's wedding? You know what? Fine. I don't care. You're nothing to me now, so leave my house right now.
I'm glad we're on the same page here. Well then, I guess this is a mutual agreement.
Whatever. We both know that you'll be begging me to take you back in a matter of weeks. You're just a housewife who can't make a living on her own. You literally need me, and I don't need you. Even your old workplace wouldn't hire you since you've been away for so long. You'll have no job and no money. And you'll be begging me to take you back before you even know it.
I'll work hard so that doesn't happen. Well then, it seems like the medicine is starting to work, so I'll be going to sleep now. I'll pack my things and leave the house as soon as I wake up. I just heard the news from Neil. What a shame. You're gonna miss the wedding because of some fever today, right? Yes, and I just fallen asleep. Thanks a lot for waking me up, Lisa. Well then, I assume that you've come to your senses after a refreshing slumber. Do you remember that you announced that you were going to divorce my brother? I mean, I get that you were barely conscious because of the fever, but how stupid could you possibly be? Do you even remember saying that? Of course I remember, and I'm grateful that I got this fever because it allowed me to finally say what I've been wanting to say for the past few years. Seriously? I think you need to get your brain checked out at the hospital. You never would have gotten close to the life that you live right now if it weren't for Neil. But you throw all of that away because of some stupid reason like this? I don't know what you've heard from that man, but our marriage was not happy at all. And it's obvious that my life will be way better if I have a new and fresh start without him. You don't have to act so tough in front of me. I know that you're saying all of this nonsense because your brain is not working right now, but you'll regret it once you'll cool off. You know, I could do you a favor and set up a chance for you to apologize. Your fever is starting to go away, isn't it? Just swallow your pride and come to the wedding already. I'm sorry, but I seriously don't think that I can make it today. And I need to pack up and leave the house by the end of the day anyway, so I won't have time to go either way.
So you're serious about the divorce, huh? You're more stubborn than I thought you would be. Whatever, I guess you're free to go then. I never considered you to be worthy of Neil's wife anyway. I'm sure he'll appreciate your decision. He deserves someone who is kind, witty, and thoughtful, unlike someone. I'm sure he does, and I hope he finds someone who can fit his criteria. Like, seriously, why did he even marry you in the first place? You don't show up to your sister-in-law's wedding and get a fever on top of that. If you can't take care of your spending or your health, then what good are you? Hurry up and sign the divorce paper already. You don't have to tell me to. I'll be sure that it's signed and turned in by the end of the day. Regardless of the reason, I'm sorry for not being able to show up to your wedding today, and I appreciate that you invited me. I've already contacted and apologized to the groom's side, so you don't have to worry about their judgment of me being absent. What? Why would you go out of your way to do that? And how do you know the groom's phone number? I never taught you his number, have I? No, but we used to be in the same class during high school, so I've always known his phone number. Haven't I told you before? What? No, you have not told me that before. You and Kevin used to be classmates? Yes, and it's a very long time since I'd last seen him. He was always one of the most social and brightest people that I'd ever seen. I remember that he was even chosen as student body president one time. I was the vice president, so we were pretty close to each other at the time. What? Wait, you're not joking right now, are you? I've never heard of that story from him before. I mean, why would he tell you? I'm sure he never even imagined that I would be his fiance's sister-in-law. Well, up until a few hours ago, that is. What? Kevin came over to your parents' house to say hi a few months ago, didn't he? Well, I was there during that event, but Neil told me to stay in the kitchen while the guest was there. And I stayed in the kitchen the whole time you two were cooking and cleaning. So I never got to meet him when everyone else in the family did. Oh, I mean, I can't imagine my brother saying that to you, I guess. I only got to see a glimpse of his face just as the two of you were leaving, and I was absolutely shocked to see that a high school classmate was marrying my sister-in-law. Wait, so what did you text him earlier? You only said that you were so sick so you weren't coming, right? Don't you dare tell me that you told him about the whole drama of your divorce. Wait, did you not want me to tell him? I told him all about me and Neil getting divorced, along with a notice that I wasn't coming to the wedding today. What? I mean, Neil is going to be Kevin's brother-in-law, so why wouldn't I want him to give a heads up about the kind of person his soon-to-be older brother is? I just gave him a short explanation about the kind of people you and your brother are. What do you mean you gave him an explanation? You didn't say anything that would damage my image, did you? Oh no, I think my fever is starting to go back up again. I better get back to sleep then. I'll see you when I'm better. Have fun with your wedding.
Becky, please, just come back and live with me. Can't do anything and the house is falling apart without you.
What?
I don't even know how to get the washing machine to work. And I'm already tired of ordering pizza. I need your handmade food. Just please come back. I'm begging you.
It's barely been a week since I left Neil. If all you want is an obedient maid, then don't come to me and hire one with your money. And if you can't manage to live alone, then why don't you go back to living with your parents?
I would have gone back if I could. But I can't, thanks to you absolutely demolishing my sister's wedding. They won't even talk to me.
What? What do you mean?
Quit acting dumb. You know what happened. Since you snitched to me and Lisa, the groom called the wedding off minutes before it started. He started going off about how he can't marry someone who can't respect others. He especially shamed me for ridiculing my own wife. And that he didn't even remotely want anything to do with me.
Oh, really? All Kevin texted me was thanks for telling me about something so important. So I had no idea what had specifically happened to the two of you. He did offer to go for a drink sometime when I'm feeling better, though.
Well, I hope you're proud because Lisa has been staying at our parents' house and bawling her eyes out since then. And when I tried to visit, Lisa threw a huge tantrum about it all being my fault. She even said that she never wanted to see my face ever again. Now I'm not even allowed to go back to my house anymore.
Oh, wow, so that's what happened.
Yeah, but I can't do anything around the house. And everyone in my office knows that I got divorced from you for some reason.
What?
Yeah, neither my colleagues nor my boss speak to me unless they absolutely have to. And the treatment that I receive from my female colleagues is absolutely horrible. Well, no matter what I ask them to do, all they tell me is that I should do it myself instead of relying on a woman to do it for me. They even refuse to pour a cup of coffee when I ask them to.
Oh, wow, that must be horrible. I guess you've learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of a group of females who've found a common enemy.
Look, I really am regretting my actions right now. I recognize that I've treated you wrongly throughout our marriage. And I never should have ridiculed you for being a housewife. I finally appreciate everything you've done for me. Don't you want to come back to being in the comfort and protection of me?
Seriously?
You probably haven't found a new job yet, have you? So you can come back to serving me as a housewife and we can have a mutual relationship again. All you have to do is worry about taking care of the house from now on.
Are you kidding? Of course I've already found a job. And it's a really good one too.
What? You already found a job? But you've barely had any experience doing anything for the past 10 years that you were staying at home.
If anything, I've been taking care of you like a baby for the past 10 years, taking care of you at home. And from day in to day out. Why would such a hard worker like me have trouble finding a job? If anything, I got tons of offers from all kinds of different companies. I decided on the best choice that I could find and got in without any trouble at all.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I'm doing pretty well at it too. The work is really fun and the work environment is amazing too. By the way, thanks to you for treating me like a maid for the past decade, I've had absolutely no trouble keeping my order in my house.
But wait, so you have no intention of moving back in with me?
Of course not. So if you want a maid, then I suggest you hire one, because I'm not going back. Now wait, you wouldn't be able to pay for a maid with a $500 monthly budget, would you? I guess you'd finally found out how much the effort from a housewife is worth. Later on, I heard that Neil decided that he couldn't change, so he hired a maid to work for him to do housework. But after trying to make them do as good of a job as I used to, the fee for a month came out to be $2,500. I mean, what would you expect after having 3 meals a day made for you along with cleaning and grooming? After a month, he gave up on hiring a maid. But apparently, everything he wears is crunched up and his tie is just a mess too. I've heard that he's been reported to the security a few times because he looked so unfit for the office.